Entering settings screen, you have 18 options. Menu narration option is set to off is selected.
Okay, Coach. Well, from a place that's officially been recognized as the loudest venue in the NFL, there's a look at Arrowhead Stadium right here in Kansas City. A few short moments ago, these two teams made their way out of the Arrowhead Stadium tunnels, and the noise level in this place was just about off the charts. They're set for football as the Chiefs get set to do battle with the Houston Texans. And a pretty good return here. He'll be stopped just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line.
The Texans take over first and 10 at their own 24-yard line.
Where's the set? 218!
Yeah, let's get set lunch.
924!
Now a first-time Pro Bowler from a year ago, Lamar Miller. And he'll be brought down somewhat awkwardly here, and a late flag as well. I think this one's going to be a face mask. And now it's first and 10. A big mistake, especially when you factor in the personal foul yardage. Watson now to throw. And incomplete to open things up.
Well, he kind of forced that one there, didn't he? It's almost like he predetermined where he was going to go with the football.
Yeah, he wasn't really going through progressions. He wanted to go to his top guy. You do that against this defense, they'll make you pay, won't they?
Yeah, they certainly will. They react very quickly to the thrown football.
So second down, still 10 yards to go. Ball on the 43. Watson going to give this one to Miller. Darren Lee there to get him down.
That second down play call was not to pick up the first down. It was to accomplish what they did to get them into a manageable third down because they had incompletion on first down, so they were behind the sticks, so to speak. They needed to make up some ground, and they did.
This defense looking for an early stop. This is third down and 6. Watson. He finds his target, Fuller. And he'll be brought down with a first down as the tackle's made at the Chiefs' 38-yard line. Nice job keeping that opening drive alive, and they're in plus territory, that part of the field where you really want to convert on third down. They did.
Big-time pickup for them, and now I think the aggressive play call.
And it'll be intercepted. Picked by Kendall Fuller. Last week, somehow they won. He threw all those picks, but they still won. Here, opening drive, unfortunately, he picked up where he left off.
Partner, you get a lot of extra patience when you find a way to win despite you making mistakes. But starting out again this game, that patience is going to wear thin really quick. And I think the guys on the defensive side of the ball will be the first ones to let him know that's got to stop.
And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down. A good pickup there at 22.
This is one of those plays that has an equal chance of either being a big gain or a big loss. But with the college influence, we're seeing more of these plays come into the NFL.
One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10.
Pick it up. It's out of time, guys. Out of time. Let's get off the field.
From the gun, it's Mahomes. Eluding the pressure right. And he'll slide down to avoid the tackle. Big yardage there on the scramble. It gets him a 1st down. When plays break down, that's normally when Mahomes is at his best throwing the football. But as we saw, he can run it too. Last year, 60 carries, 272 yards. Great elusiveness and speed. And the Chiefs obviously don't want him to be a running quarterback. But if he sees an angle like he did there, any opening, he has the ability to take it and run. Now a man who really came on late last year, it's Damian Williams. And his first carry, he loses the football. And the Texans scoop it. And his guys are going to take over at the 21-yard line. Well, he's going to have to shake out the cobwebs. First time he touches the football, and he drops it on the ground.
So many times we talk about quarterbacks and taking care of them early to get them in the flow with safe throws, right? But with a runner, there is no such thing as a safe run, right? Right out of the gate, you're going to be in some traffic. Got to take care of the ball, and he didn't do that.
The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. Now, they were intercepted the first time they had the football, but now they get it back, and it's still 0-0.
And because of that, you know what the thought process is? Interception. What interception? It didn't really happen because they gave up no points. So go back on the attack. Go back and run the offense you believe will be successful. Find your playmakers and give them the football.
The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8.
Here we go, D. All day. Defense all day. On the board. 44. And let's get this.
Watson with a give to Miller. 2 yards on the carry there, and it's going to lead him to 3rd down.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
From the gun on 3rd, Watson. And he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down. Frank Clark in there to get him, and that is sack number 6 now for him on the year. 4th down, so the Texans dial up the number of their second-year punter, Trevor Daniel. Back deep is Tyreek Hill. That's taken on the 25. Give him 11 yards that time on the return. And it's Chiefs football, 1st and 10. A first update now from Cleveland. And it's the Browns out to the early advantage. We'll keep you updated on that one as it progresses. The Chiefs offense about set to begin this drive. And they got across the 50 last time but fumbled and turned it over, so they'll be looking to have a short-term memory here, Mr. Davis.
Not only a short-term memory, but a whole lot better ball security. Because if they take care of the ball, continue to move it, their chances of scoring some points, they got to feel pretty good about. They thought they had things moving in the right direction last time. Fumbles, they don't just affect you on offense, they affect your overall team because now your defense has to make that stand up.
So the big play changes the complexion of things. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the 30. He'll get the first down and more inside the 20. And finally down at the 9-yard line. Last play went for over 30 yards. This one not quite as big, but still over 20. This will be their first trip to the red zone. They've got it first and goal to go.
First and goal at the 9-yard line.
Mahomes going to pull it out and keep it himself. Throw right side, complete to Williams. And he'll take this into the end zone. Now, hold on here. We do have a flag down. So let's see what this is about. And into the red zone now. And, Charles, they told us offense in the red zone was a focus this week in practice.
A huge priority, and the key was to get points. So you know that all the time during the week they talked about executing, taking care of the football, no big mistakes. Make sure they put points on the board and come out of it with that.
They make a good bit of that yardage back as they're set up in much better shape now for second and goal. From the 2 now, second and goal. LaShawn McCoy, the 31-year-old running back, his first carry. And he's going to take it into the end zone for a Chiefs touchdown. LaShawn McCoy, his 6th touchdown of the season, as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. Point after, right down the middle. And it's now a 7-0 game. Now after the touchdown, here's Butker on to kick it away. This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll take this one near the 25, call it the 26-yard line.
The Texans take over first and 10 at their own 26-yard line.
The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. And it's been a rocky start for them thus far. They had the turnover and then the punt on those first 2 drives.
So there is optimism because they've improved, right? Turnover, you just noted it.
Punt's better than the turnover.
The punt is better on the second one. Now they're hoping to turn it into first downs and hopefully points.
At the 28-yard line.
The last run good for 2. Here's second and 8. Now it's Watson. And the Chiefs are going to get him. William Hayes in there to get him, and that is sack number 6 now for him on the year.
They just gave up a sack there, and if I'm not mistaken, they gave up 4 last week, didn't they?
Yes, and just looking really porous, aren't they?
They really are, and I'm wondering if they're going to have to start thinking about keeping the tight end in, maybe a back, someone to help assist, because right now, their quarterback's been getting hit a lot in the last couple of games.
He's going to fire one deep over the middle, and he can't hang on to it. Nearly picked. He's known for his hands defensively, but instead it just brings up 4th down. The Texans send the punter out as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. And this is away. It's a high kick, and he got all of it. Here's Hill on the return. Still going. Now he lost the football. The dive unsuccessful. The big fella can't pick it up.
I remember sitting in special teams meetings, and at some point during the meeting, the coach would always say, you better treat this one just like you're playing offense or defense. It's a big part of the game, and we just saw evidence of why right there with that fumble.
Yeah, fumble on the punt, and after it was turning out to be a pretty decent return.
Yeah, a really nice return. They were going to be set up okay, and the offense would feel good running onto the field. And now the defense has to try it out there and try and slow them down.
Up front, the struggles continue for this offense among the line. What can they do? Change the play calling? What?
I think part of that, yes, changing some of the play calls, some screens, some draws, some misdirection. You want to run any type of a play that will influence these guys to continue to get upfield and find a way to use that against them and slip things in behind them. So some quick passes could work as well.
After 7-0 on EA Sports. Texans football to start quarter 2 as they've got it with a 2nd and 13 forthcoming.
18, 50 to Mike, 50 to Mike, 24. And let's go.
Now on 2nd and 13. Watson. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's 2nd down.
And it is true. You can draft the fastest. You can draft the most athletic guys. But if they don't know the art of positioning, sometimes it's all for naught. In this case, in the right spot, help force the incompletion.
Yeah, had his hands on it for a second. Would have been a tough catch, though. Falls incomplete.
Get to the board. Minus 50, minus 50. You go night.
3rd and long. It's Watson. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Snags it for the pick. And a terrific return as he takes this thing all the way down near the 20-yard line. That's now his 2nd interception in as many weeks from his linebacker position.
And think about all the different techniques he has to employ in a passing situation. Is he spot dropping because it's zone? Is he picking up man-to-man? Is he having to run with a running back or a tight end? In any event, great eyes, head on a swivel, and excellent hands.
Yeah, versatility and showing those hands. Give him a couple on the catch. It's 2nd and 8.
Well, they're unable to convert that into much, but it's never a bad idea to try to get the ball into a tight end of his caliber's hands and see what kind of disruption he can cause.
Yellow.
Throwing on 2nd and 8. Mahomes. This is caught by Hill for a Chiefs touchdown. Tyreek Hill with touchdown number 12 on the year. And the Chiefs are able to extend their lead. Extra point splits the uprights, and that'll make the score 14-0. Now after the touchdown, here's Butker on to kick it away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points, get that 0 off the board. And running room scarce here. He's going to be stopped in his tracks at the line of scrimmage. Okay, 2nd and 1, you get nothing. What now on 3rd and 1?
Sorry about that. I was so excited I jumped in on you. This is almost like practice to me. Line it up and do it again. You didn't get it right the first time. Just get right back on the ball and go. It doesn't matter that they know you're coming. You ought to be able to pick up this short yardage.
Here we go, 50, 54.
And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted. Picked off by Reggie Ragland. And he will score. Touchdown, Kansas City.
Partner, what we just saw, that's a great example of a team that was really amped up. They've been playing so well, yet they didn't get overexcited and have a bust on defense and gave up a big play. Instead, they created their own big play with a pick 6. This one may be over.
Yeah, it's just the first half, but that lead has swelled to the point where you're wondering if it is over already. Extra point right down the middle, and that makes the score 21-0. So they throw the pick 6. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. And some dangerous territory. You're already down 3 scores. A 3-and-out here or an inability to put any points up. This one might be over by half.
Yeah, and what you also have to guard against is calling every play for a big shot downfield. You know, thinking you're going to get all these points back on one drive. You're not. And last time I looked, it's still the first half. I'm not saying you have ultimate patience here, but you also don't have to go ahead and force everything either.
On second down, Johnson trying to find a lane, but instead he'll get back to the line of scrimmage and no more. No gain on the play, and it's going to bring up a third down. Throwing on third down, Watson airing it out deep for Smith. Oh, he almost intercepted it. They're just forcing it into too many tough spots. That was almost a fourth pick of the game. And now fourth down. The Texans send the punter out as he'll come on to kick this one away.
Let's go.
The Chiefs take over first and 10 at their own 23-yard line.
The KC offense out of the huddle, ready for their next drive. They are clicking on all cylinders. They seem to be just scoring at will right now, and that's why they've opened up this big lead.
You know, we always talk about getting into the zone, and all athletes are seeking that, aren't they? But everything is working for them. Every move they make works. It clicks, and they are on point right now.
Yeah, they are in that zone that you're talking about. That one goes for 24 yards. A big hitter to start the drive has him up near midfield here for first and 10. On play action, it's Mahomes. Under pressure, and the Texans able to get in there for the sack. The sack there by J.J. Watt.
Well, maybe that can give them a little bit of a pick-me-up, a little bit of a jolt. One of the few things has gone right defensively.
Because other than that, it's really been a first half to forget.
Here we go, let's bring it. Let's go, let's bring it. Let's bring it.
Hey, Sunday. It's a safety creek.
Throwing on second and long. Mahomes. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's second down. And Charles, got to like what this defense has been able to do these last couple of plays.
Yeah, they get the sack on first down, then they force the incomplete pass. Now they're just a play away from getting the football right back, but it's a big play. They've got to hold up.
Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And he'll be brought down right at the 45-yard line.
That's certainly playing down in distance very well by the defense, isn't it? Take whatever you want underneath, by all means.
They only punted twice in the win last week as he gets this one away.
That is how you flip field position. That's an absolute bomb of a punt. Downs it inside the 5-yard line. Absolutely ideal.
From that position, you're hoping to get it down inside the 15, inside the 5. Superb. The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. And they begin this drive in very precarious field position inside their own 5.
And remember, this is a defense that's already scored once in this game, so you've got to really take care and make sure that you're blocking these guys who try and wedge the ball out from the shadow of your own end zone.
They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway. They stay on the ground. This time it's Johnson. And he's upended at the 6 as they double their room to maneuver on a pickup of 3. It's a pickup of 3, and we have now arrived at the 2-minute warning. 2 minutes remaining in this first half of football. And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. He's letting this one go for Fuller. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. It's the Honey Badger, Tyrann Mathieu. And they take possession 2 yards away from midfield at the 48-yard line. So after the INT, here's Mahomes. The right side going to be caught by Hardman. And he maybe makes it back to the line of scrimmage. That's it. No gain there on the completion. 2nd and 10. Had the completed pass, but for no gain, stopped right at the line, so it's 2nd and 10. Mahomes going to pull it out and keep it himself. Caught. Kelsey, left side. And they'll get this just to the 47. 1-yard gain. That catch good for only a yard, and it'll be 3rd down.
Let's go one more.
Throwing is Mahomes on third. And this is caught by Watkins. Mahomes now nearly perfect. 9 of 10 in this first half. It's 1st and 10. Now here's Mahomes. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's McCoy. And he takes this into the end zone for a Chiefs touchdown. LaShawn McCoy with his second touchdown of the game, number 7 on the year. And the Chiefs are able to extend their lead. Point after, right down the middle. And a rout is on here in this first half. Now after the touchdown, here's Butker on to kick it away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. Typically down in the first half, I might say, oh, you at least need a field goal out of this drive, but they're down to the point where they need a touchdown, don't they?
Yeah, normally, you know me. I mean, you've been around me for a while now, right?
Unfortunately.
I'm sorry about that. But normally, I'm the one preaching patience.
Yeah.
You know, take your time. First half, you still got a chance. I think they're out of patience here. This has to be a drive that gets a touchdown. So if you're the play caller, you're going to that portion of the sheet that says big-time plays, specials, anything you can use to get yourself back into it.
Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6. Back to throw, Watson. He's going to fire one deep, middle of the field. And this is going to wind up incomplete. The coverage there too strong on the deep ball, and now they face a 3rd down. I hate to sound really negative, but at this point, an incomplete pass, almost a moral victory that it's not picked off.
Well, you may hate to sound negative, but that was negative.
It was very negative, I know, but all these first-half interceptions, it's been tough to watch.
Yeah, couldn't find a silver lining in this one. Much more like lead.
And now the 3rd down throw incomplete as well.
Trying to get that one to his tight end, and they've been trying to get the ball to him, but as of yet, unable to successfully complete one. But you know there's usually a nice comfort zone in throwing to the tight end. Great sight lines, usually right in the middle of the field.
$12 yards on the return that time. And control of the football switching hands with very little time remaining until the half. An NFL update. They're in the 2nd quarter in Baltimore. And it's now a 2-touchdown advantage for the Bengals. And we'll be sure to keep an eye on that one as we go along here. The Chiefs offense about set to begin this drive. Time for a final kneel down or a safe run, and then they can head to the locker room with a lead.
Yeah, or they can even run a screen. You know, something they feel is somewhat safe that might actually pop and turn it.
And he's going to go down. The Texans come at him and able to bring him to the ground. And with just 4 seconds left in this first half, a timeout call. Trying to get one more in here before the quarter breaks.
I got you, son. I got you, son.
Color. Hey, 43, 15.
H3, 2, 18. Chopper. Hey, switch gears. Watch the ship. Hey, watch the ship. I got it.
Final shot before the half from Mahomes. Looking right side, and that's complete to Watkins. And he'll be brought down right around the 37. So we've come to halftime after a very one-sided beginning to this one. As we send you down to Orlando, where Jonathan Coachman has our EA Sports halftime report. Coach, ready for the start of the 3rd quarter. The Chiefs have the lead and set to receive the football. This is taken at his 4. And he'll get it up past the 20 to the 22-yard line.
The Chiefs take over 1st and 10 at their own 22-yard line.
KC offense out of the huddle, ready for their next drive. They built a good first-half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. Here a throw taken in by Watkins. And he'll be tackled right on the chalk of the 45. Give him 13 yards there and a Kansas City first down.
That looked like a pretty good route combination there because you've got to find a way to clear the guy running the drag. Because when you do, you just put the ball on it and then let him run.
He's got some space. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion.
It's a gain of 8. Brings up 2nd and 2 at the 47-yard line.
Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch. Good for 8 yards. They go play fake. Mahomes. And he finds a man with a crossing route. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. And he's going to be taken down with another first down as the stop's made at the Texans' 27-yard line. Mahomes now pretty remarkable. 14 of 15 through the air, only one incompletion. And another 1st and 10 here. Mahomes now to throw. Going for it all. And this is going to be intercepted. Picked up by Justin Reed. But they needed a break. They needed to make a play here in the third quarter. Defensively, they did that. Now they got to go quickly and get some points on the board.
And the best part is that they made their own break. Taking the ball away. Now they just look at their offense and saying, guys,
let's go.
Come on, capitalize on this one.
And they're going to get him behind the line yet again as his nightmare afternoon continues.
Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
From the 22, here's 2nd and 8. Play action for Miller. Now Watson. He's going to sling this deep downfield. That's incomplete. Nearly another pick. My goodness.
Trying to decipher what's going on out there because I don't know if he's just getting bad reads. I don't know if the defense is confusing him. I don't know if he just has, bad info and intel before he snaps the ball. But he's made some pretty bad decisions with the football lately.
Yeah, several bad decisions on the interceptions he's thrown, and frankly, that should have been another pick right there. Now the throw on 3rd down, knocked away and incomplete.
This defense is continuing to contest every deep ball that is thrown downfield. And, look, it doesn't matter whether you're playing man or zone. Eventually, that becomes man-on-man, and you've got to trust yourself and go up at that moment of truth and make a play on the football.
The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the ending, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part 2, right? Because once...
And he will take it on in for a Chiefs touchdown. Tyreek Hill with his 13th touchdown of the year and 2nd of the game, as his guys continue to pour it on. The extra point splits the uprights, and the lead will swell by one more. Now after the touchdown, here's Butker on to kick it away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. These guys had to punt last time. It has not been a very fruitful game offensively thus far. They haven't even made a trip to the red zone.
And I know that everyone's going crazy on that sideline because that drives you berserk to come off the field, not really move the ball well. As you said, not even get to the red zone, let alone, not even put points on the board. They've got to just take a deep breath, relax, try and figure out what is working, and call more of that.
After the run, here's 2nd and 8 from the 27.
I'm going to come back to you. I'm going to come back to you.
Here's Watson being chased out left. And seeing nowhere to throw, he chucks this one away from harm. Incomplete. Now it's 3rd down.
You know they wanted, you know they expected. They needed him to be sharp coming out after the half. Unfortunately, he's missed his first 3 throws. I wonder if he got out late and missed his warm-up time.
The whole team did come out a little bit later than usual. I don't know, maybe there's something to that.
Must have been a heck of a halftime speech.
Yeah, maybe just trying to rally the troops back from this deficit. He's going to launch this thing way downfield. And that'll wind up incomplete. Bold play call there. Now it's 4th down. It's been this way most of the afternoon, hasn't it? This secondary, it really put this receiving core on lockdown.
Listen, they've worked together like a basketball team that's playing excellent defense. Great communication, doesn't matter whether it's man or zone. And especially against deep balls, as we saw there, they're not giving up anything to them.
The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. And following that long touchdown pass, a one-play drive last time, see if the defense, you know they're ready. They don't want that to happen again.
And you would have thought they would have been ready the last time. I mean, that's what you work on all the time. Make sure that no one gets behind you. That's the cardinal sin of defense, not giving up the long pass. They did. Let's see how they adjust.
Good yardage as he rumbles for 24 and a first. A big hitter to start the drive has him up near midfield here for 1st and 10. They go play action. Now Mahomes. Flush to his right. They'll let this go for the end zone. Sammy Watkins, 53 yards, as his guys continue to put this one out of reach. That's a tough combination to defend. You know Patrick Mahomes has the big arm, and he's got the elusiveness and the speed. So even though you force him from the pocket, he's still dangerous.
Bad idea, in my opinion, to force him from the pocket. Do everything possible to hem him in and make him make the throws from right there in the center of it. And look, we know he's got the big arm. You just noted that. But when he gets outside, it puts so much stress on your defense, trying to locate where receivers are, make sure you're covering them, and he can throw the ball the length of the field, so you just tell a receiver, just keep going. He'll find him, and he did there.
Watson will bring up the Texans here, 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. Now a run on 1st down is not going to get off the ground as they will get him behind the line of scrimmage for a loss of 3. So now they have to contend with 2nd and 13 after the 1st down run goes backwards. Out of the gun, Watson. Looking here for Smith downfield. And my goodness, another interception. Picked up by the rookie from UVA, Ron Thornhill. And the return this time will go out to the 42-yard line. Gosh, you add up last week and this week now, that's 9 interceptions in this 2-game stretch, and we're not done here.
It's almost as if they can't even believe their eyes. Or maybe, partner, is the confidence level in him so high that they believe he'll get out of it and make plays for them to win a game.
Well, they've said they believe in him. That's being tested right here.
People worry about throwing the out route because often it can get jumped, and that can turn into either an incompletion or an interception. But not on that one. Everything came together, and he catches it and goes over the sideline.
On the ground, this is Williams. And, this Texans defense, they're all charged up now. They stopped him behind the line for the 2nd straight play.
He has elite instincts from his linebacker spot. He's able to diagnose the run and flies in like a missile to stop that one behind the line of scrimmage.
If they want a first, they need to get the football to the 32 here on 3rd down. Shotgun snap to Mahomes. He'll take a shot for the end zone. And that is caught by Watkins for a Chief touchdown. Sammy Watkins with 2 touchdowns on the season, both in this game. And thanks to the interception, the Chiefs offense cashes in with 6. Extra point right down the middle. around the NFL. They've gone to the third in Cleveland. Now, you saw the score at the bottom of your screen a moment ago. We got a good one going on there. Remember to keep an eye on the ticker, of course, at the bottom of your screen for updates on that game and others around the NFL. The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. They have been struggling. I would imagine at halftime they went through some possible changes. Well, those changes aren't working, so now where do you go? I think there goes Duke Johnson. 30, 20, 10, touchdown, Houston. Duke Johnson, his second touchdown on the season. And the Texans are able to make things a bit more respectable. And, oh, it's no good on the PAT, so they can't add on here. And our score is going to stay right where it is. So with the missed PAT in his rearview mirror, he goes back out to kick this one off. This is taken at the 3. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. The Chiefs offense about set to begin this drive. This is sort of what you would call a put-away drive, isn't it? They score here, especially a touchdown. It's almost out of reach.
It certainly feels that way, and I think that they're going to call their plays accordingly because what you really want to do, even though you know the scoreboard is still up there and the game's going to go on, in fact, you can take the spirit away from another team, that their drive and will to come back and win can be taken with another score right here.
Still third quarter, but you just get that feel.
Yeah, they're teetering right there on the brink, aren't they?
It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up third down. So time to start going in the other direction as they come up now third and long.
That's what I'm talking about.
And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field. Now that's one they hate. The ball's got to come all the way back.
So that's an explosive play, a really explosive play that gets wiped out, and they have to start over after the penalty.
Hero 15.
Looking to throw is Mahomes. Steps away to his left. And this is going to be incomplete. Here now, Johnny Townsend, as he'll kick it away for the second time. And he gets this away, and look at this. This is a good one. Before they can get the punt away, whistles as we've come to the end of the third quarter of action. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Good starting field position for the Houston Texans here as they come up 1st and 10. This is Miller. And he'll take this one for about 4 up to the 40.
He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
On second down now. It's Johnson, and he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 37-yard line. It'll be a loss of a full 3 yards there, and it also brings up third down.
Set. 18.
I'm scared.
Got double time. Double time.
Here's Watson on third down. And now here is another interception. Picked off by the rookie from UVA, Juan Thornhill. And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown. That's the story of the game. They've been suffocating all game long on defense. They were suffocating there again in a big way.
And they've done it not just by out-athleting them.
And oh, he takes off with it. It's a fake. And he will not make it to the goal line as his try for 2 is going to come up empty. But that's little consolation to this defense as they have been porous all game long. This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line.
The Texans take over 1st and 10 at their own 23-yard
The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive.
He's coming. Double up, double up.
Fresh off the pick six, it's Watson. He's going to fire one deep over the middle. And my goodness, another interception. Picked up by the Honey Badger, Tyrann Mathieu. The number 7 usually lucky here, not for him. 7 picks he's thrown in this game. That's only happened 6 times since 1960.
And I know that the most recent time it happened, the guy who threw him, he won a Heisman Trophy in college, so sometimes you just have a lousy game. Doesn't necessarily mean it's a bad career, but when you're talking about one game, 7, you're right, not lucky at all.
Yeah, Ty Detmer, the last to do it in 2001, to throw 7 picks. The KC offense out of the huddle, ready for their next drive. And this game comfortably in hand. The scoreboard speaks for itself, but you still got your starting quarterback out there. When do you go to the backup? Let him get some time.
And that's one of the great questions in the NFL, Brandon, because I'm just going to tell you, in the 2015 season, I commentated on 3 games in a row that were blowouts. And in none of them did the starting quarterback ever come out of the game for the team that had a big lead. And in each instance, I asked the coaches later on, why didn't you do that? And they all looked at me and said, just don't really do that in the NFL. You know, these guys play, and we just play them all the way through. Now, in certain situations, they will take them out, but for the most part, they're not as worried and concerned about getting them out of the game. And that's always puzzled me a little bit.
And now a first chance for the backup here to throw. Now the ball comes loose, and the Texans scoop it. And they have possession, and they have it at the 38-yard line. Often on fumbles, you look at the guy who coughed it up and say, geez, what did he do? But, hey, let's tip the cap to the defense here.
Not a problem at all, my man. I'm not even going to tip it. I'm going to doff my cap to him. Congratulations, big-time play. Knocking it free and creating something good for your team.
That's going to go as a loss of 1 on first down. This linebacking core, they've done a good job of keeping that running game in check, haven't they?
They certainly have, and what they'll also do when this game is over is thank the guys up front, the big defensive line, because they've kept them clean, so to speak. Not letting blockers get to them, allowing them to run to the football and keep that running game bottled up.
Under 10, 10.
Hey, watch it, watch it.
Check.
On second down, it's Johnson, and he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a 3rd down.
Anytime you call an inside running play, you just know there should be a lot of congestion there. You're counting on your offensive line to take control of the line of scrimmage. That didn't happen in this case, and that play got bottled up.
So time to start going in the other direction as they come up now 3rd and long. From the gun, here's Watson trying to lay one up deep, and that'll be incomplete. Well, they took their shot all right, but it comes up empty, and it's 4th down. Just nothing there again. He's been sacked multiple times. We've seen the interceptions, of course. He's really been through the ringer, hasn't he?
And what we've seen is a defense that's well coordinated. The front and the back really in sync. The front putting on the pressure, the backside being ball hawks and picking passes off.
The Texans send the punter out as he's on to kick it away. He steps into this one, and this is a rocket. And problems spreading to the punt team now. This one goes all the way into the end zone on the fly, so that'll come back to the 20. The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. We've got a lopsided game here. I don't know, Charles, what does the handbook say that we discuss when we've got a game like this in the 4th quarter?
Hold on a second. Let me thumb to the proper page on that. Know what it says?
What?
Let's discuss how we got here. This is a dominant performance, where they took control of this game, how they've managed to keep control of this game, and then we go ahead and think about how we're going to leave here and get to the airport. In a lopsided blowout, the roads are usually open.
Right there in the middle, 55.
Here we go. Here we go. Here we go.
On second down, Williams. A nice move gets him a few extra. Down just shy of his 20. 5 yards gets him back near the original line of scrimmage as they'll be left with a 3rd and long. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So the Chiefs in possession of the ball as we welcome you back. They've got a 3rd down now as they look for one more first down to help salt this one away. Here now, Johnny Townsend, standing right on his own 5-yard line. He'll send this one into the Midwestern air, and it's a good one. It'll be a 51-yard punt that time. And the Texans will take over with a 1st and 10. The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. They've lost this one. Their offense has struggled. Do they try to put together something here at the end just to take into next week?
Yeah, sometimes teams want to do that, and coaches want to. I remember one time I was on a team, and we were losing late in the game like this, and you knew it was lost. It was over, right? And the coach called a running play and pretty much said to everyone, I want to see something executed well before we get out of here. And that was the message to the team.
Just something to build on.
Just something to build on, get it done, and maybe we can look at that and say, we'll get better as we go forward.
So a little bit of a stiffer challenge now. 1st and 15 following the delay of game. After the penalty, it's Miller. A pickup of about 3 yards as he's taken down at the 31. And the trend continues here in the 4th like it was in the 1st, 2nd, and 3rd. He's had nowhere to run.
And you're probably thinking to yourself, why do they keep feeding him the football? Well, they trust him first and foremost. They do believe that over time he might actually pop one of these runs. But bottom line is he takes care of the ball well for them, so they'll keep handing it to him.
They'll run it again with Miller. And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line. Chalk that up as a 4-yard loss. And now it's 3rd down.
Mike 50. Get that quarterback at all costs.
A big offensive explosion helped leading them to victory. And the defensive guys, they're just saying, hey, put those points up every week. We'll just keep winning.
They will gratefully accept them, won't they? It makes their job that much easier when they're scoring that many points. Allows them to play with a totally different style and a different flow.
So for Kansas City, they remain as hot as anyone at 6-0 now through the first month and a half. And they'll hit the road next week to take on the Denver Broncos. Meanwhile, for Houston, it's loss number 5 for them on the year. And they'll try to get back to their winning ways next week as they head to Indianapolis to take on the Colts. That'll do it for us. I'm Brandon Gaudin alongside Charles Davis. Thanks to our entire crew as well. We'll talk to you next time. So long, everybody.